Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lottie, this is Fish People Music, and this is episode 2 of my infrequent series called Weird Gear, where I talk about unusual musical instruments that I've come across. And as you can probably tell, this one is a guitar. I mean, it's not a normal guitar, it's a weird guitar. I wasn't actually sure whether or not I should include this in this series, but then I sent a message to my friend Danny about it, and well, this was his response. As you can see, he has some serious thoughts about it, so I figure, why not do a video? Everything's content, right? So yeah, this is a guitar. It's the Crafter CT120, and it's an acoustic guitar. Kind of. I mean, it has everything that you want from an acoustic guitar. It's got a lovely headstock, a bolt-on neck, a super thin body, and no sound hole. It's got nothing that you want from an acoustic guitar. So, yeah, a bit of a weird one, huh? I guess in a way this video isn't just about the Crafter, but it's also about the idea of the hybrid acoustic, which is what this is, as a whole. Basically, guitarists, as I think I've mentioned quite a few times, whinge a lot. And back in the day, when playing live with acoustic guitars, we had microphones down here by the sound hole, play into the microphone, and it sounded horrible. So piezoelectric pickups were invented. Magnetic pickups were invented that went over the sound hole, but they sounded like an electric. Then piezoelectric pickups were invented, and they were fantastic. But I guess, never being happy, guitarists were like, oh, but it's a bit big, it's a bit boomy when there's the bass drum playing behind it, and there was a short-lived fad for these. It's basically everything that it feels like to play an acoustic, but without the issues of having a big box of air in front of you. The body itself is, I think, walnut back and sides, spruce top, and it's incredibly hollow. It's, I suppose the best way I could describe it is like the body is a squished down acoustic, so it's like got really thin walls, a lot of bracing, and that leads to it being very resonant, and it resonates a lot more like an acoustic than an electric. But of course, with such a thin body, it does have the ability to have a bolt-on neck. So what you end up with is all of the benefits of an electric guitar with all of the feel and a lot of the sound of an acoustic. And it's ideal for playing live because you don't get the thumpiness from the bass drum. It doesn't feed back quite so easy because it doesn't resonate quite as much as an acoustic. But because it's got a typical piezo pickup in the bridge, it sounds like a regular electroacoustic, or kind of. We'll get to that in a minute. I think like only a few companies actually stuck with the trend and produced guitars like this. There was Gibson with their Chet Atkins SS, which big fans of Maiden will know that Yannick Gers plays one live. Crafter, and I believe Epiphone and Shire guitars, and I think those are the only ones I've ever seen. So yeah, let's go through the specs of this one, and I'll give you some sound demos, and you can see how it sounds just like an acoustic, but not quite, but definitely not like an electric. So as I said before, it's a bolt-on neck. I'm not sure what the wood is. It's got a rosewood fingerboard, that much I do know, and unlike my other Crafter acoustic, this one is from a slightly higher range, and I don't know how easy it is to see, but the headstock is actually the logo is very nice and sort of reflective and rainbowy. And it's inlaid instead of printed. It's really quite nice. Then we've got this beautiful chambered body. I don't know how easy it is to see the wood grain on the back there, but it is really, really beautifully figured. And then we've got our bridge with integrated pickup. Now, they did do a version of this that had nylon strings, which would have been even more bonkers. And then this is all topped off with a 4-band EQ, bass, middle, treble and presence. It also has a mute and volume control, and yes, that is wood veneer, which I think is kind of cool. I like it when they do silly things like that. And there we have it. There's not much else to say about it really. It does its job, it does it well. I'll shift the camera in just a second so that you can get a better view of it. Or I could stand on tiptoes. As you can hear though, I've got a very squeaky strap. There, that's better. I'll move it more in shot. Like I said, it's a super resonant body though, so let's see what it sounds like unplugged, and then I'll plug it in and you can see what that sounds like. So yeah, this is Unplugged. So as you can see, it's kind of not quite as dead as you'd expect from, say, solid body electric, but it's not as booming and noisy and acoustic sounding as an acoustic. It really is neither fish nor fowl. Yeah, and it's hard to get across on camera, but it really does feel like playing, albeit very thin, an acoustic guitar. It moves is the wrong way of putting it. It resonates in the same way as you'd expect an acoustic to. It really is an odd experience, because it, size-wise and depth from body, you feel like you're playing an electric, but it's really an acoustic, but it's actually not. Yeah. Anyway, let's plug it in and get some sound samples of that, and then I shall be back in a minute. Toodle pip. And there you have it, the Crafter CT120. A bizarre piece of history. You know, I mean, again, not just this guitar, but the whole hybrid acoustic thing. Yeah, it's weird that it was a fad that just came and died out without, like, anybody really noticing. So there we have it, the Crafter CT120. A bit of an oddball. Bit of an example of a type of guitar that really isn't made anymore. Because reasons, I guess? If I had to guess, I'd say it's because modern acoustic pickups, when you use them with like the sound hole plugs and stuff, it's so much easier to mix acoustic guitars on stage nowadays. If I'm honest, this would probably be a lot better for club gigs than having a full-size acoustic with you. But I don't know, I don't even think Gibson make their hybrid acoustics anymore. I think Shire might still make them, but I think most companies have pulled out of the market, and it's a shame because they're kind of bizarre and really neat, and I like them. In fact, I like it so much that was the squeaky strap, not me, if you heard that. Shush. Yeah, where was I? Yes, I like it so much that I have some solo stuff coming up later this year that needs kind of... An acoustic guitar would be too twee, but a full-on electric would be overkill. And I think I'm going to use this live. I'm going to take this on stage with me because it was a stage-focused guitar. So I'm going to take it on stage with me and use it, and maybe I'll report back, let you know how it's going. Actually, I'll probably put like a vlog up of those gigs. I've just got to finish writing the music that I'm going to be playing. Yeah, and I intend to use this through an old Korg Toneworks AG3000. Just add a little bit of reverb, you know. Maybe even a little bit of drive. I don't know if I'll be keeping it forever. I don't know if it's a forever guitar, but it's certainly for the time being guitar. And with that, I think I've said everything. So thank you for watching, if you made it this far. If you didn't, then I guess you can't see this. Anyway, yes, if you liked it, there's a button for that. If you didn't like it, there's also a button for that. Although I hope that you did like it. If you want to listen to more of my random ramblings about musical crap, there is a subscribe button for that. And if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that would be really appreciated. No, like, pressure or anything, you know. But there is a link for that in the description as well. And I will be back sometime soon. Possibly with a gig vlog. Possibly with another weird gear thing, because I've got this... I know I mentioned in the last video I was going to do a weird gear thing, and it was before I got this, so what I had originally planned to do is this crazy ass pedal. But then this kind of fell in my lap, and I thought I would do a video about it because... Well, I mean, look at it. How could you not? I will see you sometime soon, and... that's everything. Cheerio!